Um, right after Allie was born, I started having this finger. I couldn't use it. It would swell up to like 3 times the size of my other fingers, and I couldn't bend it, and I couldn't do anything with it. I called it my bad finger because I couldn't do anything with it, and it was probably like that for about a year, until I finally went to the doctor, and my family doctor said, okay, I don't know what's going on, but we're going to send you for tests and blood work, and they got me in to see a rheumatologist right away, and he diagnosed me with rheumatoid arthritis. I had the swelling in my knees and my joints and stiffness in my fingers and toes and just pain in my hips and everywhere, basically, it felt like. So I was diagnosed in 2009, I guess it was, a year after. 5 days after I was diagnosed with the arthritis, I found out that I was pregnant. And so I couldn't do any kind of treatments because they would hurt the baby. It was a big shock, a big adjustment transition for us, and we were doing okay. And we were at church one Sunday, and Kay's daughter was there, and I'd never met Kay's daughter, and she just came up in the middle of worship and just said, God is telling me that I need to pray for you for your arthritis. And I said, okay. So she prayed for me, and she prayed for healing, and it was really neat. I was really excited. I thought, oh, God's going to heal me right now. You know, I'm going to walk out of this church different and not be in any pain, and that didn't happen. When I wasn't healed right away, I thought, okay, God told her to pray for me, so I'm gonna be healed, you know, so I can be patient. And you know, that day turned into more days, into weeks and months, and probably for the first year I was okay. I just kept thinking, okay, God can heal me, God can heal me. He did it before, He can heal me again. And I had a lot of people praying, my mom, my aunts, sisters, cousins, everybody I could think of praying, and so I was okay that first year. When it got into the second year, I thought, okay, well maybe this is something that I'm going to have to live with, especially because the medicines that they had me on weren't working. I was on pills, and that didn't help with the pain, so they put me on a different kind, didn't help with the swelling, and so I started to get a little frustrated that they weren't going to find the right medicine that was going to make this. So neither one were working, so they finally started doing shots, which helped. So I did shots for two years, weekly shots for 2 years, and that helped, and that's what I've been on ever since. Even though I was on the medications and they were helping, I still had, the mornings my hands were stiff. I couldn't wear my rings sometimes because my knuckles would be so swollen, the joints would be so swollen. I would wake up in the mornings and my hips were sore, my knee was swollen, and they had to drain it, cortisone injections. My feet especially were bad. If I were on my feet a lot during the day, I wouldn't be able to move my toes at night. So the medicine helped. It did. It made it so that I could take care of my kids, but it didn't take the pain away. It wasn't a miracle drug. It was kind of funny because in probably July of this year, I said to Sam, I just don't feel like this medicine is doing what it's supposed to do, and I think I'm going to go off of it and see how I feel, see if the pain gets worse, see if I need to try some other medicine, and then I just never did it. I don't know if I just forgot or got sidetracked or whatever, but I didn't, and we went to Georgia in August of this year on vacation, and when we came back, I just started with severe headaches, numbness in my hands and my feet that would go all the way almost up to my shoulder. I was tripping over things that weren't there, like I couldn't pick my feet up high enough to walk, balance problems, I would stand up and almost fall over, confusion, couldn't think of simple words, and it was scary. So I went back to the doctor, and the doctor's first thought was MS, which was scary because my grandfather had MS. So it does run in my family, and so I had 2 MRIs, one of my brain, one of my neck, to check for that, and they came back fine, thank goodness. And so they said, well, maybe it's your medicine, maybe it's your Humira that you're taking, and go off of it. So I went off of it, and I thought, oh, it takes me weeks to get into your system fully. Am I going to be in terrible pain once I go off of it and have to go back on. After a couple of weeks when I thought, okay, maybe I'm healed, maybe this is gone, I went back to the doctor because I had an appointment scheduled, and he said, okay, let's redo your blood work. Let's see what's going on. And it all came back perfect. It all came back, there was no inflammation, no nothing. And I was reminded again, and I was reminded throughout the whole ordeal. I kept thinking about this prayer, and this lady who came up and prayed for me, but especially I thought 3.5 years ago, she prayed for healing, and they can't find it in my body anymore. I don't have this disease anymore. And I knew that I was healed. I knew that God had touched my body, and I just want to be an encouragement to people so that they know that God is still healing. God's still healing. He's still the great physician. Don't be discouraged, because God's answer is yes or no or not right now. And in my case, it was not right now. You need to wait a few years for reasons that I don't understand, and that's okay. I don't need to understand them. But don't be discouraged, because God's faithful to all of His promises, and I'm here today to tell you that He's still healing.